Hey yo, what is good with you? It is your boy Travis Kinley coming back to you with another one. And I really just felt like shooting my intro right here. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Let's get it. Travis Kinley coming back to you with another one. And today, sitting on the side of the road, sitting on the side of the road, and I'm sure all of my haters immediately jumped to, ha, he's finally broken down. Truck finally broke. Well, the truck didn't break. I'm sitting on the side of the road because somebody forgot to put bills with the trailer. You know, for those of you who are not prime drivers or drivers and know what I'm talking about, there are times when you pick up a load and it's got a lot of time on it. And you can make it to your destination days before it actually delivers. So we have drop yards, and if you drop that trailer on a drop yard, it's your responsibility to drop the bills of lading with the trailer. The bills of lading basically state what is inside of the trailer, the weight, pieces, pallets, you know, shipper, the receiver, consignee, consigner. It just has important information that you should have when carrying a trailer that you're responsible for having. Well, I picked up a trailer and driver forgot to leave bills of lading with the trailer. Instead, in all of my rushing, I opened a compartment on the trailer and pulled out instead basically the registration for the trailer. And I put it in the truck and I kept moving, landing gear, yada yada, weight distribution and the sort. Well, I get to the receiver and realize I don't have any bills. So now I'm sitting here, man. I'm just sitting. They contact the driver who had this trailer before me. I'll show you the trailer. Shout out to Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend. Shouldn't it just be Memorial Weekend? Anyways, the driver who had the trailer, how about that? It's probably backwards, right? It's backwards. Anyway, supported troop trailer. The driver who had the trailer before me, he says, oh, I left it in the IntelliSetting, you know, where the IntelliSet, you know, the interfaces, wherever. Let me show you what that looks like. A set of bills of lading is an average 8.5 by 11 piece of paper or papers. A lot of times it's like 2 or 3 pieces of paper or more. Sometimes you got 20 pages, right? Here is where driver says he left it, right there, right there. Can you see that? Can you see that? You see that no space really to leave paper, right? Nevertheless, it's clear, right? So when I pulled up to the trailer, I checked the temperature setting actually to make sure the temperature's right. I checked that before I hooked up to the trailer. So I know it wasn't there. And you can't miss that. I mean, come on, dude. So then the other place I look is this spot right here. There's some trailers, let me see here. There's some trailers that have this here, but it's really just for registration and stuff. So I see that and I'm like, okay, bet, bills of lading. So I'll snatch it and throw it in the truck. Now, a lot of other times what we'll do is we'll put it in a grocery bag and we'll tie the grocery bag to something around here, you know, anything. You just attach the grocery bag or a Ziploc bag so if it rains, your bills are fine. But driver says he left it in the IntelliSetting thing. Well, it wasn't there. So I'm sitting here, I done inspected the trailer multiple times to make sure I'm not missing anything, no grocery bag. It ain't there, it's just not there. So I'm sitting here. So I'm being patient. I said, well, you might as well be productive. Every time, look, if there's anything anybody knows about trucking, it is that trucking will teach you patience. Trucking will teach you how to wait. That's right, it'll teach you how to wait. So I'm waiting, and I always choose to be as productive as I possibly can while I'm waiting. So I say, well, let's shoot a YouTube video. So somebody commented on one of my YouTube videos, and they asked me, the question is, what division? I think he said reefer or flatbed. And I thought to myself, man, you have been meaning to make a video about the divisions for quite some time. So question is, what division? Reefer, flatbed, or tanker, right? We also have intermodal. And I believe that's basically it. But let's stick to the main three, right? Reefer, flatbed, and tanker. I'm gonna start with the ones that I'm least familiar with, tanker and flatbed. I'm just gonna kind of juxtapose the three, compare for the set, or contrast for the sake of comparison, compare for the sake of contrasting. So here's what I know. I got this kind of from all of the information that I've gathered talking to people in different divisions. Let's start with flatbed. This should be clear, okay? If you want more physical exercise, go flatbed. That is, it seems so clear. If you don't want as much physical exercise, do not go flatbed. Now understand, it's not physical exercise when you want to, it's physical exercise when you're at work all the time. It doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. It doesn't matter what the season is. The precipitation, none of that matters. Rain, sleet, hail, snow, -10, 110, you gonna be out there. Every pre-trip inspection, I see them boys out there, these guys, these men, I see these women, I see them out there cranking them straps down, right? Every time they fueling, they cranking them straps down, making sure everything's secure. I have much respect to flatbedders. It's just not my thing. That is not what I signed up to do when I came out here, okay? In 2011, I fractured my spine among a list of injuries, and I knew flatbedding wasn't gonna be for me. I ain't finna be out here doing all that, cuz you get one spine in life, okay? You get one spine. They don't do back replacements. You don't get whole back replacements. And I don't make that much money for a back replacement anyway. So I knew flatbed wasn't for me, but it might be for you. If you're interested in that lifestyle, that might be for you. I'm also told that in flatbed, you have more of a consistent schedule. Usually a lot of their shippers and receivers are open during business hours, regular business hours, banker hours, some people say. So that's cool too. But primarily the difference is it's the work, okay? You got to secure your load and constantly be securing your load. I don't know of any other differences besides that. If you do, maybe you could drop them in the comments. Scheduling the differences. How about tanker? Let's talk about tanker real quick. Tanker's pretty neat, and I got this, I believe it's John Ogren, forgive me, man. I ain't trying to be slaying your name on YouTube. But I was talking to him one time because I was thinking about going tanker, and what he told me was, the thing about tanker is that, and this guy has a few years on him. I don't know how long he's been with Prime, and I'm not sure if, anyway, I don't know. I waved at this trucker, and he goes, dude, I don't know, I'm just waving, I was just being friendly, I'm from Carolina. Anyways, so, people, man, just so cool. It's so interesting doing this. So John tells me, John's been tanking for a while. Tanking, I don't know if they yanking tanking, I don't know. I'm just trying to be like in with the tanker crew. Anyway, John tells me the thing about tanker that really kind of distinguishes them from the rest is that they are forced to be kind of a thinking group of people, a critical thinking group of people. And that's kind of what attracted me to tanker life. Because similar to a fire truck, tanker operators are, in ways, they're engineers, right? In the fire service, well, one responsibility of the engineer is that the engineer is the primary pumper. The engineer needs to know how to route water through the truck and out of a specific fitting pipe so that the water is delivered to the appropriate hose at the appropriate pressure according to the distance in which the water needs to travel so that the fire can be extinguished. Nobody really sees the engineer behind the scenes throwing switches and dialing pressure. But if the engineer don't have his job on point, the guy at the end of the nozzle might not get any water. Pressure's not high enough to even get to the nozzle, or it ain't strong enough for him to actually hose the fire down. Well, in a way, tanker operators, when I was talking to John, this is was my thought process, tanker operators have to be engineers. They have to move product. If they're responsible for unloading, I understand that there are places that unload it for you and load it for you. But when they're responsible for unloading and loading, they have to move product from one area to another area with the appropriate pressure and through the appropriate tubes. This includes shutting and opening different valves. This includes making sure you do not waste material. He informed me that if you waste material, and especially if you're a lease driver, you will be charged for that. It is just like similar to when reefer drivers, when we have a claim on our hands and it's our responsibility, right? Like you didn't put load locks in and now it all, you know, fell apart. So for tanker drivers, it's not so much as much bronze to fulfill your responsibilities as it is brains to fulfill your responsibilities. Now, I'm not calling all flatbedders dumb, and I'm not calling all tankers smart. All I'm saying is, for their responsibilities, it does take a tanker driver more critical thinking. I think he threw a few scenarios at me, my memory serves me correctly, he threw a few scenarios at me like, hey, when something goes wrong, you have to be quick on your feet and think critically to figure out, how do I resolve this problem now before everything wastes on the ground? Right? Especially when you have loads at certain places where they charge a fee if you waste anything. So that's the thing about tanker. With tanker, you have to be kind of a critical thinker, and you have to be thinking about how to route product through different pipes, different fittings, using different fittings. For example, in the fire service, you have, you know, you might have a 2.5 hose, but you might have a 1.5 hose, and you need a fitting to reduce 2.5 to 1.5, and you have to know about pressure. As far as 150 feet worth of hose is going to take this much pressure in order to get this result, but then if I have 600 feet worth of hose, it's going to take this much pressure to get the same result. Well, they have to think along those lines, all right? And then we end with Reefer, refrigerated division. You don't have to use either one of those. I'm not calling reefer drivers weak and dumb, nor am I calling them strong and smart. I'm just saying, to fulfill our responsibilities, we don't really have to be that strong to be throwing tarps and chains and straps and strapping down and tightening, and we don't have to do that. We don't have to think about, you know, routing product through this, and that. We bump the dock, and then we do whatever we want to do after that. And that's it. Now that's kind of comparison and contrast for the sake of the other. But that's what we do. Reefer drivers, we just bump the dock. There's really not much to say about that. You throw load locks in, and I mean, that's no big deal. I'll show you a load lock real fast for those who may not be familiar with what a load lock is. A load lock is nothing but an aluminum. I think it's aluminum. I can't remember now. We'll wait till the reefer unit goes off. Reefer unit's on. It's all loud. You won't be able to hear me. But that's pretty much that. Okay. Everybody asks about money. It is my understanding that on average, we all make around the same thing. Around, okay? Around. I'm not saying none of us make more than the other. I'm just saying on average, when you look at the whole team, whole fleet, I like to think team. You look at the whole team, it's my understanding that we all make about the same. Now, I've seen the numbers, and I see that when you look at the averages, a lot of time reefer is higher. Well, reefer, as we say, refrigerated division is the bread and butter of prime. You know, but nevertheless, man, flatbed guys aren't going broke, okay? These tanker guys aren't going broke, all right? They got lease drivers that are paying for their trucks and been doing it for years, okay? So the pays, it's not that drastically different. I can try, I just, you know, I just do not feel like watching every driver meeting to find that one driver meeting where they were talking about averages, you know? But it was around the same, man. It's not like $500 off, if my memory serves me correctly again. It's not like $500 difference where, you know, Reefer makes $500 more than Flatbed. Flatbed makes $500 more than Tanker. Tanker makes $500 more than Reefer. It's not nothing like that. Not that I remember, okay? It really wasn't that serious. And if it was, okay, people wouldn't choose it. Like, come on, man. There's this guy made a YouTube video. I shared it as a post on YouTube yesterday or something like that. And he was like, I think the title was, just because I work for Prime doesn't mean I'm dumb. And he did one of those flashcard videos. And the paper said, just because I work for Prime, it doesn't mean I'm dumb. And he keeps dropping he keeps dropping the paper closest to him and just holding that same one. Just because I work for Prime don't mean I'm dumb. Just because we work for Prime don't mean we dumb. Okay? People know how to count their money. That ain't crazy. But I mean, that's primarily difference. Okay, there's really, other than that, region, right? If you're Tanker, I know Tanker, they have like this triangulated region that runs something like between Chicago, Jersey, and Georgia, something like that. Savannah, Georgia, something like that. Chicago, I think it's Jersey. I could be incorrect on that, but it's something like that. I'm pretty close. Maybe somebody will throw a comment down and correct me on that. But you have to live in a certain area if you're Tanker, so that's a way to eliminate, right, an option. Flatbed, it's not my understanding that you have to live in any certain area. You just have to be willing to do the physical work and under any circumstance. Put your raincoat on, put your boots on, your gloves on, and get it done. Not that I don't know how to work. I know how to work. I have worked hard, but I just didn't come to Prime for that. I'm just being real with you. That's not why I showed up today. Okay, that's not why I woke up this morning to be doggone throwing straps and tarps and stuff. I didn't wake up for that this morning. I woke up to bump a dock way across the street that way, and I'm still working on that. That's the main divisional differences though, y'all. Other than that, I'm fairly certain, man, the money's about the same, dude. Don't. Okay, there are other ways to be more profitable than, like, if Flatbed's your heart, go Flatbed, man. Who cares if it's $200 under average? It's just an average, doesn't mean you can't come out on top. And like I said, there's plenty of lease drivers out here Flatbed. Shout out to Dennis Olson. Hey, I love Flatbed loads too. I love when y'all carrying them boats and stuff. That is nice. I'm gonna say a word that I wasn't really sure if we're allowed to say on YouTube. It's not like profanity, but maybe you want to be 18 in order to say it. I wouldn't let my 15-year-old child be talking like that at dinner. But I don't have a 15-year-old child. I'm just saying when they turn 15, I don't want to hear you say that word. Because I'm your father. Listen to your father. Listen to your mother. We say that a lot in my house. Anyways, I guess I say that a lot at my house. All right, so this is a load lock. Danielle's got the air on, so describe that. You see those poles, right? You see how long it is? You see that? It goes up there. At the top, you might be able to see that black handle all the way at the top. Standing at amp, so I had to make it quick. Basically, that black handle, you just undo it. It releases tension on the pole extends, and then you clamp it down. It's a load lock, and it just extends on the wall and puts pressure on the sides of the wall so the load doesn't fall. That's it. That's what we do. Put the lock on the back of the trailer, and then you get gone. So that's basically, I mean, that's basically the differences, y'all, for real. No big deal. Anyways, I'm gonna get in the truck. I'm gonna edit this video. I'm probably gonna play with the simulator. We're just gonna sit and wait around. Let's see if Prime hit me up. My phone in the truck. Prime could have been there and hit me up. I gotta go, y'all. You know what the business is. Find you somebody to love. I love y'all. Don't forget, it is not about what you believe, it is why you believe it. And live free.